I swear some mornings just show up to make you wonder if karma's playing a prank like that. Day I walked out on my porch, keys in my hand, son, not even over the roofline. And there she was, Karen Whitfield, standing right at the edge of my lawn. Clipboard hugged to her chest like it was a shield. She says to me with this voice like she's selling cookies, "I've approved it under HOA authority." Like that makes it all fine. Only it was a dump truck and a couple of rigs parked sideways, blocking every inch of my driveway. I wasn't going anywhere, not with my tools locked in the garage, and my way out turned into a construction zone. You ever have one of those moments where you realize your day's already gone off the rails and you haven't even had your coffee yet? The violation notice sat on my counter, heavy fancy paper red stamp screaming, "Received," like I just joined a club I never asked for. Those little paragraphs, all neat and tidy, told me to comply or else. The thing is, you don't get to own my driveway no matter how official your paper looks. But Karen, she had a different script. "Community safety," she said, tapping her paper like she'd just handed down a law. All I heard was, "We're blocking your driveway because we can." I tried to keep it together. I needed those tools. Had a job site in less than an hour. Karen, still smiling that perfect neighborly smile, told me I'd just have to adjust my schedule. The equipment can't be moved until the project lead approves it. Project lead. She wouldn't say who. Maybe it was her dog. At this point, I'd have believed it. Neighbors started appearing. Mr. Thompson, arms crossed. Mrs. Rodriguez peeking through her curtains. Everyone loves a little drama before breakfast, right? I told Karen to move the truck. She apologized in that not sorry way and started quoting rights of way and management authority. I stood on my own driveway, face to face with a steel wall, the air thick with diesel and something else, a feeling I was supposed to back down. "Show me the paperwork," I said, trying to sound calm. Karen just tapped her clipboard again, said, "Emergency authorizations don't require advance notice." Translation: I could go kick rocks. I hit my garage door remote anyway. Nothing. Not even a whimper from the door. Karen watched me try it, her face perfectly blank as if she was watching a cat video. "Maybe your system's faulty," she said. But my lights were on. The power wasn't out. No, this was planned. Every route to my garage blocked. Trailer here, dump truck there. It wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a cage. When I called her on it, she got quieter, a little closer. "You've been difficult, Calvin. Not a good fit. Apparently asking what rule you're enforcing makes you a threat. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to be outnumbered on your own property, well, that's it." She wanted me to call someone, so I did. Not out of anger, well, not just out of anger, it was the only move left. And as she strutted away, I realized she'd just made a legal problem, not a neighborhood one, and the law that still had my name on it. 6 months before that, I'd gotten my first taste of Karen's style. Thick envelope in the mail, HOA stamp like a badge. My daughter Riley watched me open it barefoot, anxious, her bowl of cereal forgotten. Landscaping non-compliance. Poppies in the front yard apparently were an assault on neighborhood harmony. $50 a day if I didn't put down approved turf. Riley didn't get it. Honestly, neither did I. So I called the HOA. Karen picked up her voice as smooth as always. I asked her for the rule number. She gave me attitude. I pushed, and she snapped. "You're new here, Mr. Smith. Most people don't need the rules explained." Then she hung up. Riley looked at me like I'd just lost a fight. "Are we in trouble?" she asked. "No, honey," I lied. "It's just paperwork." But I felt small. That's how they get you paper that makes you feel like you don't belong. But rules, they're just words until someone challenges them. I dug deeper, read the bylaws, asked questions. That's when things escalated. Suddenly the county inspector showed up. Complaint about unpermitted commercial activity, he said, clipboard in hand. My heart almost stopped. But I had my licenses, everything in order, just like my old mentor had drilled into me. If you don't document it, it didn't happen. Inspector Hale was thorough, asked about everything. In the end, he looked at me and said, "Everything here appears compliant." I could have hugged the man. Then he told me something I'll never forget. An HOA can enforce covenants, but it can't block your access to your property. That's a legal issue sometimes. Civil, sometimes not. Only the property owner can trigger it. Standing. That word echoed in my head. Only the owner can say when enough is enough. That was the key Karen didn't want me to find. Then came the day Mrs. Rodriguez's little Honda Civic vanished, towed, because of a sticker for her cleaning business. Karen called it an unauthorized commercial vehicle. The tow company, Whitfield Services and Towing. I don't have to spell out the family connection. Mrs. Rodriguez broke down right there in her driveway. $327 just to get her car back. And every day the fee went up. We met at the local diner, me, Rodriguez, Thompson. We compared violation notices, looked at photos on my phone, work vans, trailers, boats, all ignored because they belonged to the right people. Only those who wouldn't fight back got picked. Thompson said it best. She doesn't want compliance. She wants surrender. And then another piece fell into place. Karen's nephew ran the tow company. She blocked, he towed, they profited. I started gathering evidence. Photos, dates, everything Inspector Hale had said I'd need. Meanwhile, Karen kept pushing, calling lenders, spreading rumors, trying to scare people out of speaking up. She even served me and 3 other neighbors with restraining orders claiming harassment and community disruption. But Sarah Thompson, youngest in the block reporter's notebook always in hand, brought the receipt screenshots of Karen offering bribes to neighbors, threats about insurance and mortgages. You could see the shape of the whole game now. A petition started, names stacked up. People who never spoke to each other before were suddenly allies bound by frustration. I wanted to call the sheriff right then, end it, but Karen was baiting me, hoping I'd lose my temper and give her something to spin. So we waited. Kept documenting, kept talking, kept cool. Then Karen made her biggest move, set up a podium out front ready for her press conference. It was showtime. The next day, 11:58 a.m., I stood at the edge of my driveway. The trucks were still there, Karen across the street, clipboard ready, chin high. Neighbors gathered, pretending not to watch, but definitely watching. My restraining order expired at noon. The second it did, I dialed the county sheriff. I'm the property owner. My access is intentionally blocked. This is interference with ingress and egress. Karen crossed the street, her smile gone. You can't do this, she hissed. No emergency vote, Karen Patel called out, waving his phone. The sheriff's SUV rolled up, followed by Inspector Hale. They saw everything, the trucks, the blockade, the lack of any real emergency. Karen tried to bluster, but Hale cut her off. The association can't obstruct a homeowner's access. The deputy wrote her up, told her she had 30 minutes to clear the trucks or they'd tow them. That was the sound of Justice diesel engines starting, metal shifting, people finally exhaling. As the trucks pulled away, Thompson and Patel handed over the petition, reading off name after name. Karen's shoulders sagged as the list went on. She had nothing left. The first quiet morning after that felt unreal. Just birds, sprinklers, sunlight, no blockade, no threat. My garage door sat there, ordinary and unremarkable. It was mine again. The next HOA meeting, not in Karen's living room. It was in the community center, folding chairs, open mics, and the new acting chair, Patel, reading out loud. No board member, officer, or contractor may obstruct a homeowner's lawful ingress or egress. Any attempt will be treated as a violation and referred to authorities. Mrs. Rodriguez stood up and made it official. I wanted in writing that no one will ever use access to scare people again. And just like that, the spell broke. People started talking. On Saturdays, my garage turned into a community workshop. Tools, coffee, laughter, neighbors, learning how to change brake pads or patch drywall. Riley, back home for the weekend, led a group of kids through the garage, warning them not to touch the red toolbox. That's Dad's. I watched her and felt something loosen inside a knot I didn't realize I'd carried for months. Funny, isn't it? How all it took was a driveway, just a strip of concrete for people to remember what they actually owned. It wasn't about the concrete, not really. It was about who thought they owned the right to block it. You ever have a moment like that where you stand your ground? Not with anger, but with proof, with the law, with your neighbors beside you. It's a strange relief seeing justice play out on an ordinary street. Makes you wonder, how much power do we really give away just by letting someone else say, this is how it's always done? So I've got to ask, what would you do if someone tried to choke off your access, not just to your driveway, but to your life? Would you push back or would you let it slide? Ever seen a small power trip spiral out of control like that? Go ahead, tell me where you stand. Or better yet, tell me about the time you fought back and what you'd do if it ever happened again.